Now that I think about it, I've never publicly talked about my marriage ending. I share a lot on social, you know, like my life, but when it came to my divorce, and I can't really say divorce.
She's still married. It's been, what, 4 years?
But are you guys like actively trying to do it, or are you just chilling with it?
It was an incredible marriage. Like, he was the best man, so sweet, so kind, so loving.
You've really handled it in the most amazing way.
Yeah, I was proud of both of us. Like the conversation of making the decision and how we transitioned out of our marriage. Welcome back, you guys. Episode 2.
Wow. We made it.
We made it. We did it. I just want to say I was overwhelmed in the best way seeing everyone's response. I didn't really have an expectation. I didn't know what to expect, but whatever that was, I didn't realize that people were still, you know, wanting to see us and all of the messages, all the support. It's really been so nice.
It really has been. I mean, I had faith because I know that obviously the people who used to watch us on Clever, I know that they're some of the most loyal people in the world. So I had faith that there would be some viewership. I just don't think I expected the amount of people that ended up tuning in, especially since it's been we're coming up, this year will be 2 years since we've even been on YouTube together as 3 people. So it was just really great to see, and we really do appreciate it so much.
Yeah, I didn't have an expectation either, so I was very pleasantly surprised to learn that people still care. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, 15 people watch this, whatever, we'll grow over time. So it's really cool that you guys...
It is really cool.
Yeah.
Can we appreciate you?
By the time this episode goes up, the Apple might be all set up, Apple Podcasts. Right now, you can totally listen on our landing page and on Spotify. It's in the caption on YouTube. Or you guys can find all those links on Instagram. But hopefully by the time this episode goes up, Apple Podcasts will also be available to you. If you do choose to listen instead of watch, maybe you're in the car, we want you to be safe. Don't have your YouTube open in the car, guys.
No.
If you do choose to listen, please, while you're there, just give us a little rating and a little 5-star review, okay? Please do that because it really does help the show. It bumps us up in that little algorithm that we all love, and it helps new people find the show as well. So that would be awesome if you did that. Thank you.
And subscribe.
But lastly, one more time, thank you guys so much for supporting us. It really does mean the world. But I actually posted on our stories. We reached out to you guys. We were asking you if you guys had any advice, any questions, any things that you wanted to share and spill. And we were going to talk about it on today's podcast. So someone did respond. Appreciate the support. And so we're going to kick it off with this. And it's really juicy, you guys.
I'm excited because I haven't read it yet.
I know. I'm the only one that has read it, and I've been excited to share it with you guys.
Okay,
Drew,
so
more
excited.
specifically, I'm excited to see how you're going to respond to this
God.
question.
Okay.
So here's your question. Have you ever had a boyfriend and had dreams about him hooking up with your close friends?
And now I see. Okay.
She continues.
I see it.
I've had a lot of friends experience this recently, and I want to know your thoughts. Women's intuition or paranoia?
Dude. Okay. First of all, I'll start because whoever submitted this, I understand it. I've also had dreams like that.
Are you watching it happen, or do you just find out about it?
Just find out about it.
I see.
Yeah.
I was like, how kinky is this? Are you just in the room or?
Yeah, I don't know if you're an Aquarius. I don't know how into zodiac signs you are. I'm not even that much into it. So I just attribute intuition sometimes to being an Aquarius because one time a medium told me that I think it's the year I was born in and the time or whatever your intuition is strong. But this has happened to me. I've actually had dreams that Jackie like in the dream, it's not clear on like how they hooked up. Just like it's just implied that something inappropriate happened.
I remember this. This was like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, this was with the Saga man, the last, him.
I do remember this.
And I think a lot of it stems from your distrust in the man, first of all. Okay. So there's already something that makes you think that it's possible. So it's like he's probably like, I don't know, like an F-boy or like something within your relationship situationship is not, you just don't trust him. Because so if your subconscious is telling you something, and then so it's like, oh, someone who's close to you, that would be like the biggest betrayal. So your subconscious is just going haywire. Now, I don't know the people in your life. If it might be that you don't trust the friend that was in a situation with you, but it could be a number of things. We had some murky things at the time.
Yeah,
so maybe,
no. I was like, be real.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
didn't-
wait a minute, like, but it's
wanna
okay.
shit on you
know
or
what?
anything.
No, it's fine. At the time, there was a lot of things. We've talked about this where Drew and I have had certain arguments, and the trust factor there was lost a little bit. So.
Yeah.
That could have been, that's definitely, your intuition in the sense of like, okay, but not in that way. First of all, I just would like to clarify.
Yeah.
I am not that kind of friend that's doing crazy things around men. This is something completely separate outside of men.
Yeah.
I'm not I am very respectful around other people's partners. I don't even like to look at them in the eyes because I'm like, this is inappropriate.
Yeah.
So let's just make that clear. But I think there's something that I think what you're saying is there's this deeper issue between the relationship, whether it's the friend or the man that's coming up. And I think your brain goes to worst case scenario.
Yes. And it's annoying because you can't control that. And I would wake up upset. I'd be like, I'd call Jackie like.
She would be so mad at me. And I would literally have to say, Sinead, Drew, me and did not do anything together.
I remember
I
this.
haven't
Yeah.
talked to him. I don't have a side conversation. I don't know the man.
You know what it was also because he followed you on Instagram and he would like pictures sometimes in mine and like it'd be like the certain type of photos.
Which
whatever.
I blocked him after that, by
So
the way.
I
I
did.
blocked him immediately.
I do feel like that is probably what caused it more than anything.
Yeah,
I
for
kind of
sure.
don't think it's any of the above. I don't think it's actual like intuition necessarily. It could be, but I don't think that's most likely the cause. And I also don't think it's most likely paranoia either. I think it's literally your thoughts, like your subconscious manifesting itself through your dreams. So this is just an example. I don't know, and I'm sure you don't remember that exact day. But if for some reason you had seen maybe a comment or a like that day,
Yeah.
and that was in your brains at some point, that I think would more likely lead to a dream like that. Because I have definitely, especially recently, I cheat on Nils in my dreams all the time.
What?
It's so bad. It's so bad. I literally will wake up sometimes and just be like looking at him and be like, I'm such a terrible person. Why did I do that?
Wait,
that's
and it's
crazy.
And it's not like, and I'm literally like, the other day I was thinking, is this a thought in my head? Is there something wrong with me? But it wasn't. I had just literally watched like a movie that day.
Yeah.
And it's just whenever it is in your brain, I really do think, especially someone like me who has so many thoughts that don't all happen, they don't all process at the same time. I think some of my thoughts from earlier in the day process at night. And you know what's also crazy recently? I've been able to, when I really enjoy a dream, I've been able to go back to sleep and finish the dream.
Oh,
you
you're
guys do that?
so lucky. I can do
Yeah.
it sometimes. Was it lucid dreaming?
Dude, it happened to me one time during
Lucky.
COVID where I was like, this is the best dream ever. And I just kept repeating it and I fell back asleep and the dream continued. And ever since I've been able to do it. And it's been amazing because I just have movies running in my head. But I really do think if you practice what you are thinking about before you go to bed, you can absolutely change the course of your dreams. But if for some reason you saw that online, maybe that's what caused it more than anything.
Yeah. So maybe just have a conversation with your friend. Make sure that you guys work through any issues that you have. Have a conversation with the man. You guys work through issues you have and just reevaluate things.
Now, if you already suspect your friend's man of doing something, then you better get your spy goggles out, your recording devices.
Conversation.
You pull up in your, tinted window car and just do a stakeout for sure. But automatically don't assume that there is something awful going on.
Yeah.
I would just like to button this up with saying, I appreciate those friends that you don't have to worry about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
if you have a friend
Should be all
that's
of them.
Yes.
well, that's what I'm saying. If you have a friend that you're questioning, maybe they're walking around and doing a little swish or wearing certain clothes when they're around your man, maybe.
Have you had that?
No, but I've heard stories
Oh, yeah.
about it
Yeah.
for sure. Like one of my
I was like,
friends,
who?
one of my friends was saying she let a friend sleep over and she came out the next day. Like it may be just something that just was a little too showy. And I was like, that's bizarre. Like if I stayed over at a friend's house who had a man, a husband, a boyfriend, I'm in
Onesie.
baggy clothes.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing no shorts or tank top out of respect.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you have a friend like that, cut him off.
I like that segment. We should do that again.
Yeah.
I saw the question. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah,
That
send
is
us your
good.
DMs.
But you said there's already more, right?
Yeah,
more
there's
comments and
more.
stuff? Yeah, you
There's-
guys
Oh,
keep
perfect.
sending them
Okay.
in. You
Yeah.
got questions? We are not by any means licensed to give advice to anyone, but we enjoy it.
Yeah,
so
we do.
there's that.
We do.
Oh, I wanted to talk about, this is so random, but okay, so you know your explore page on Instagram? I don't know. I know it like it's probably should be tailored to you depending on your algorithm, but it's what my explore page is feeding me has nothing to do with anything that I search. So I'm confused, and I want you guys to let me know, and you guys too in the comments if this is happening to you. It is like alarmingly sexual, and when I say alarmingly, like
Models.
not even just
No,
that.
like-
It's like
What do you mean? Like
say corn just in case. I heard that like sometimes it like I don't know, you can't say the P word.
I can bleep it out in the audio.
I don't know how to describe like aggressive.
But like full.
No, like no, because you can't like show that on Instagram. Obviously,
I mean, that's what I was wondering. I was like, is it like that?
but it's like
I think we have the same algorithm.
like yes, the OnlyFans stuff. Well, I don't even think we say that either. OF stuff, and then also like somebody will sit like it would be like a reason that's not sexual at all, and it's like, oh, I'm making turkey, and like the girl will like slump down and like it will
I
just
see.
it's
I
just-
see.
which I'm not mad at. Some of it I enjoy, but some of it is like aggressive that I can't say on here.
once
is it me?
you
It's just
once
me.
you click one,
Yes,
you're going to
100%.
get so many more. Which actually, do you guys have your phones out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pull up your explore page right now because mine's similar. And once you hit on like, because out of curiosity,
I'm scared
I've
my
seen-
Instagram's listening to you guys right now, and it's gonna change mine.
I know.
Out of curiosity, I've clicked on those videos when I see like a girl with like really great boobs or a butt and
Same.
it's out, and I'll click on it, and then now I get those videos and I watch them.
Oh,
and they
same.
are really aggressive. And so now that I watch them, that's what my explore page looks like. And
My
sure
Instagram's
enough,
not
like
loading
I'm
right
sure
now.
if I'm swiping, the
That's not
internet's
loading
kind of
right
bad
now,
in
yeah.
here, huh?
I gotta turn my Wi-Fi off.
We got to do this later, but if you look at your explore page, that's one way that you can really get to know somebody.
No.
No, I've been in group settings where I'm like, everybody pull out your phones. Let's look at the explore page. And it's very telling.
No, but I think it's the opposite. I'm very confused why mine is. Yes, have I looked at a few titties? Yes, but it doesn't warrant the. When I tell you it's aggressive, I am not approved at all. Okay, so if I say something is like sexually like a lot, it's like
how aggressive are we talking?
I can't describe. It's just crazy. Okay, but then side note to that. I am not somebody who like gets a bunch of DMs, okay? Because that's not what I'm saying. But you know how there's a section in your DMs that says hidden? Okay, so sometimes I
Yeah.
check that because sometimes it puts like regular DMs there.
Yes, it does.
But is yours like invitations to orgies?
Yes.
Okay, what is that?
I think it's kind of like email with like a bunch of spam.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like there's like bot accounts that are sending these mass emails. But yeah, sometimes I will get like even put into a group, like a group
Yeah,
email.
it's all groups.
Well, yeah, so I'll get in a group email. But it is wild. So my explore page, it's not loading right now. My explore page is a really weird balance of like reality TV stuff, which is weird
Oh, how
because
nice.
I never do like go on Instagram and look at those types of things, but I watch a lot of reality and I talk about a lot of reality TV. So I always figured that was why. Now, the other crazy weird thing about my explore page is I constantly get death notices. It's like RIPs, and it's always like
Jeez.
it's like, you know, like it'll say like 1964 to 2025, like constantly, and it's like people I don't know, people I have no idea who they are. Like, it is random people.
Dang.
And I have no idea why I get it, other than like, yes, I have morbid curiosity. Everyone knows I love true crime, so like maybe that's how it started. But I do think I must have clicked on one for sure that I was like curious about. But it is constant. There are always these black and white photos with the face, and then it'll have the date of birth to the date of death, and there'll be like comments being like, but the person who passed away, may they rest in peace. I don't know who you are.
Yeah. Oh, it's like real people. Like,
it's like real people or like
Weird.
people of like, you know, somewhat significance. Like maybe it's like a community leader or something like that.
Yeah.
But it is constant. Every day I go to my Explore page, I will
Shame.
see at least 3 rest in peace notices.
Also, are you guys on your Explore page like
No.
that?
yeah, I am. Sometimes
Really?
If I'm bored with the feed, I'm like, me.
I don't really go on it to do anything else, but sometimes I'll just click over there. But once I'm on there, I usually go away from that.
I see.
Or sometimes when I open my Instagram, it goes straight to my Explore page too.
Oh, interesting. I'm only hitting the Explore page if I'm like searching for something very like specific, like a location, a restaurant
Right,
or something. But when I do, I am greeted with some
Jugs.
crazy stuff.
I'm not mad about the judge.
You obviously clicked on some titties a
Oh,
while back.
have you met me? I have clicked on several
and Instagram's
titties.
like, oh, she likes titties. Let's give her some more.
No, 1,000%.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, it's always a reminder when you go down your, feed of like what you're interested in. It's like, ooh. But again, don't share that in a group setting if you don't want to be exposed.
Yeah.
But you guys, okay, we gotta talk about Beyonce.
Don't we?
We
Ever?
only have a couple of days.
This is the thing, okay? So Beyonce is going on tour, as I'm sure you know. And I'm upset because I know that she's never going to give us notice, okay? I just know that. However, I would appreciate if she would have told me at the beginning of December so that maybe I could have put away a little fund of money that I really should just spend on bills, but put away a Beyonce fund,
Yeah.
okay? Because now I don't have money to spend. We just saw her. We just spent an exuberant amount of money.
Exuberant.
to
And
see
I
her.
want to make sure that people understand, like,
Yeah.
we're not like complaining over here. We actually spent
A
so
lot.
much money. Like the most money I think anyone I even know has ever spent on it. My parents were shocked. They were like, this is not
Yeah.
the cost of concert tickets.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It was
a lot.
It was
I would
absurd.
just like to say that I suggested in the group chat. I was the one friend.
You did.
I was like, "Hey guys, is anybody okay with this price ticket?" Everybody, it went silent in the chat. They're like, "I don't know about you, Jackie, but we gonna be close." I'm like, "All right, well."
I regret nothing. Okay?
I regret nothing either. It was the best summer of our lives.
It was the best summer
I
of
still
my
go
life.
back to our videos.
Yeah,
and,
me too.
And I rewatch them, and I'm like,
I
I want to
rewatch
go
them too.
back.
It was the best.
It was
the best.
so much
And like,
fun.
yes, and that you're right, because after, you've gone, it's been 6 months, are we going to talk about the ridiculously irresponsible decision we made? Yes, but it'll be like lightheartedly, like,
Yeah.
remember when we were so broke, we still wanted to be Beyonce? Like, it'll be like that. But it is really hard to justify it this time because we just saw her.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
But listen, if there was a rainy day fund, I'd be like, absolutely.
Yes.
Where you guys want to sit? What day are
sure.
we going? But it's just like, I just don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
This is a really big year for her right? Right. So
Yeah.
obviously coming off of Cowboy Carter, then we had the Grammys where she literally like made history and, just like she did the damn thing. She was finally given her flowers that she deserved like 14,000 years ago.
Yes.
So for it to happen on a year that she also announces a tour is a really big deal.
Yeah.
And I love this album so much. I love it so much.
too.
And it's like really difficult for me not to just be like, oh, of course I'm going. But y'all, I don't have the money for this.
I hope she goes to the Sphere. I hope after the tour she'll
She's
do a
going to.
residency at the Sphere.
But then how pissed will you be?
No, I'll be happy that because if I couldn't afford to go
I
to the
see.
tour,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
How pissed would you be if you bought expensive ass
pissed.
tickets and then she announces a residency?
I'd be pissed because the Sphere is gonna be insane.
People online are very convinced that the reason why the tour
Yeah.
ends in June is because she is going to announce a residency in Vegas starting in June. And like the residency that they believe that she's taking over ends at the beginning of June. So it lines up perfectly.
But I also know she's doing a shorter list because she's doing like a paying homage to the Chitlin Circuit thing. But like, please,
I just
please.
I don't know. I don't know how to think. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the right decision is.
We need
but
to win
I
the
feel
lottery.
like I
know.
can't not.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't miss it. It's her country. Like,
I know. Jackie's from Texas.
you know.
Yeah. I know.
It would feel wrong to not go in debt.
Also, can you imagine?
Take out a loan, all right?
Yeah, can you imagine the FOMO? I'm gonna be so irritated with everyone. Like I'm
Me
gonna
too.
hate humanity.
I'm going to delete my Instagram
That's
for
what I'm
that
saying.
time.
It's like
But
people I don't even know. I'm gonna be like, I hate you. Like,
Yeah.
why are you talking about this? And I don't do well with FOMO. I really don't. I know myself well enough to know that I would absolutely be so sad and regretful if I didn't
I'm gonna
go.
make an irresponsible decision, I believe.
I cannot. I cannot.
We'll see what happens. But I feel like we're not alone. A lot of my friends are like, "How are we gonna do it, Jackie?" I'm like, "I don't know, but I'm leaving it in God's hands."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe for you guys it's not Beyonce, but think about that one
Sure.
person, right? That like you absolutely, even if you've seen them 100 times or you've seen them no times, like if you had the opportunity to see them 9 times out of 10, you would do anything to make it happen. Like that is how we feel about Beyonce. Like it's so much more than even just her and her music, even though that is obviously the majority of the reason. But when I say we had like the greatest summer of our lives.
It was spiritual.
Because of a concert.
Yeah. Yeah, it really
It was more than a concert. It was collectively, we had been talking about it for months leading up to it. We had so much fun getting ready and driving there.
Everybody at the concert, complete strangers,
Everyone at the
was just in the
yes.
best mood. It was the most
Best
fun
vibe.
night.
Yeah, everybody connected. It was beautiful.
I also have a fear because I'm like a huge Michael Jackson fan that like if there's an artist that I love, anytime they go on a tour, I have to go because you just never know when it's going to be their last tour. Not because they might die, but in my case with Michael Jackson, that's what happened. So it's like with Beyonce being like my second to Michael Jackson, I'm like, no, I need to
Like,
go.
what if this is the last one?
Yeah.
But everyone said that about Renaissance, And then honestly, I'm pretty sure she's going to have her residency.
I'm sure. And I think she's about to go on tour again because I think she's going to create a rock album next. But that's a whole other story. That's just my theory. Okay.
She's going to hit every genre.
I know.
We're going to get like musical theater.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
you
kidding.
guys would go. Oh
like,
God.
a musical theater tour?
Imagine.
Y'all wouldn't know what to do with yourselves.
I would like hyperventilate and throw up and die. Like,
Yeah.
if she announced like with like Broadway stars, different.
Oh my
like,
God.
A review.
Instant diarrhea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I
Not
can't.
instant diarrhea.
I
I mean,
can't.
and we know she can do it. I mean, Lion King, hello, we know she could totally like. She's already in that world. Anyways, we have to get through one genre first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
So here's a link to our GoFundMe
Yeah.
to fund us going to. I'm kidding. Imagine.
Yes. We've decided to start a Patreon. No, just kidding.
No,
Not yet.
No, not. We're kidding. Kind of.
Kind of. We'll shoot the podcast there at the concert.
Right.
Please send us.
Oh yeah! Imagine the vlogs. Imagine the vlogs at the concert. We would upload it here.
No, it's too early. We can't be asking questions. Like,
Okay. Also, by the time this comes out, it's about to be Valentine's Day.
I know. Happy almost Valentine's Day to those who celebrate.
Yes.
Whether you are in a relationship or in a long-term relationship. I try to say that sadly.
Well, because it is kind of sad just because, like, I know Valentine's Day, some people are like, oh, it's just like a corporate holiday or not a corporate holiday, but like consumerism, whatever. But it's like when you're in a new relationship, you want to do your first Valentine's Day at long distance. So it'll be over FaceTime. But
Yeah. I always get a little irritated when people are like, well, every day should be Valentine's Day. You should be celebrating. I'm like, oh my gosh, put it in your pants. We just like to dress up and be cute.
Yeah.
No, I think Valentine's Day is one of those holidays that obviously Nils and I have been together for 10 years, and we only started really doing Valentine's Day traditions more recently. My little brother's birthday is on Valentine's Day. It'll be like that for the rest of
Wait,
forever.
I love that. I forgot.
So his birthday's on Valentine's Day, and so, for a long time it was, that's where the energy went. But when once he started college, Nils and I started this tradition of going out to this 24-hour Korean place that is our favorite restaurant in LA. And so like every year we've just done dinner.
Me too. I love a tradition on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so it's always been the same place, but this year we decided we gotta eat somewhere else because like we've been eating this. It's so good. It's like a Jonathan Gold
It's time to
restaurant.
switch
It's
it up.
amazing. We love it, but yeah, we gotta switch it up. But I was just thinking too. I was like, this is also, it feels a little bit different. Like, I don't know if it's just like the vibes of the world right now, but Valentine's Day just kind of feels a little bit different this year. It's just kind of like neither one of us seemed that like, oh my God, we need to go out and do this thing. We're also very happy to like chill at home.
Yeah.
What are your FaceTime plans? Knowing Dylan, he's got something up his sleeve.
I think he has something up his sleeve, but I don't know what it is.
Cute.
But it's also funny because
Oh my God, what are you going to wear on the FaceTime?
I don't know, maybe nothing. But but because of Dylan's in Australia, so it's like his Valentine's Day is actually the day before it actually is here.
Oh, okay.
So we'll probably have to time it for either it's going to be his Valentine's Day or my Valentine's. We'll probably do it for my Valentine's Day, but I don't know. We'll do something.
Cute.
I know.
How about you?
Well, I'm very single in the best way.
Yes,
so maybe,
queen.
well, you guys will be busy, but maybe with my other single gals. Wow, that's so strange that I'm the single one. For those, like, isn't that crazy?
I know. It's been me forever.
Also, just like our life on the internet, it was always, I was married, Sinead was in a very committed relationship.
Yeah.
And
I was single.
We're single.
Always.
I'm the single friend now.
Yeah, it's
Listen,
wild.
I love that for you.
Me too.
But also, like, if you're single, I think there's like this weird connotation that like, oh, if you're single, like Valentine's Day is sad, but it doesn't have to be.
No.
Like you said, you could do Galentine's. You could also you could be a day of like celebrating love with your friends, with yourself, with whoever.
Also,
But-
you guys, it's just Friday. Just think about it that way.
yeah, it's just another day.
A Friday.
It's just another day.
You're fine.
But yeah, speaking of single, now that I think about it, I've never publicly talked about my marriage ending.
What? Yeah.
I, for some reason, I felt like you were about to say, I've never because you said publicly talked about the downfall of, like, I pictured it being like this.
Downfall of
I
my
made it
nuptials.
very dramatic. Like, I've never, like, and publicly speaking out
But it's
sounds
true,
so
you
weird.
actually
But
have
You
not.
haven't,
But
though.
yeah, but I share a lot on social, you know, like my life. But when it came to my divorce, and I can't really say divorce.
She's still married.
I'm still married.
Yeah, we can't even say, like, the ink is
years.
still wet. There's no ink yet, you know?
Which is crazy.
It's been what, 4 years?
It's been almost 4 years.
But are you guys, like, actively trying to do it, or are you just, like,
Yes.
just chilling with it?
I mean, listen.
That sounded weird, but you know what I mean? Like, some people get separated and they're like, they know, you know, you move on, things happen, and they know that the divorce is like a lot of work, so they just kind of like leave it like that.
Our
until they have
divorce
to.
was the most simple divorce, cut and dry, very easy. It's just literally filing it. But for some reason, us two, which really explains who we are,
Yeah, true to form.
It
Pretty true to
really,
form.
really does.
can't get it together. Can't, like, every time we submit the forms come back and there's something missing. And so I almost lost it. I was like, okay. And he's like, I'm going to do it through LegalZoom. And I was like, he did it through LegalZoom. They checked everything. We sent it in. It was sent back to me. And I was like, listen, sir. Got a little aggressive in the text. I'm like, we need to hire a lawyer. But anyway.
Y'all need to get on FaceTime and just do it over the phone. Make sure everything is signed and checked. And
Totally. But, you know, it's all good.
That's funny.
But let me talk about it, because I've never really talked about the separation. We were together for 10 years, married for 7, and now we've been separated. I still say divorced, obviously.
Yeah.
Divorced for 3 years. It was an incredible marriage. Like, he was the best man, so sweet, so kind, so loving. But it was really a situation of we just grew apart. We had different views, different values, that kind of thing. And also when we got married, I was young. I was 25 years old. We got married in the church. So the church, there was a lot of pressure to, you know, take it to that next level,
Right.
because it was a church that was very legalistic, cult-like.
that's a whole other podcast
That's
topic
a
we
whole
could do.
other conversation. So there was a lot of pressure, and we weren't being physical leading up to our marriage. So I think that too kind of played a part
Absolutely.
into it. But yeah, I feel so weird talking about it. I don't know where to say anymore.
It's just,
but-
I'm sad. I'm sad. Because it's like, I'm sure for the clever people who knew you as married for so long,
Yeah.
and I'm sure, like, I'm nosy. I know you, so it's different. But like, if I didn't know you, I'd be like, oh, she hasn't posted that man in a long time. Like, what happened? Like, I'm sure all the
Yeah.
people are like, so. It's also just so funny that you guys are still married, because it's like you've dated.
Right.
Other people. When like, what's that conversation like? Separated. Like, do they care?
Wait,
When you're dating, do you just say you're divorced or do you say you're separated or what?
Well, it's interesting. So I feel like I've had 3 lives, right? So I got married when I was 25 and we separated 3 years ago. I was around 31 years old. So then when I was going out, I was having so much fun, right? I was
Right.
going out, meeting people, like
Yeah.
partying again because I
Yes.
felt like I missed that aspect. And then after that, I was like, okay, like I'm going to start dating or whatever. But it was weird because I quickly, and that was the thing about both of us where we knew that we were kind of, ready to go separate ways. We both thrived when we separated.
Right.
Yeah.
He was doing really well in his career. He was happier. Same for me. We continued to be friends after our marriage because it ended really well. Like I said, like we have so much love for each other. We were genuinely friends. But then he shortly started dating someone, and out of respect for her, obviously we cut that relationship off.
Just put a nice little bow on that.
Yeah.
Just put a nice little bow on it.
Yep.
What happened was,
Yeah, you're like, just, you made it sound so like florally,
yeah, I was like, well, that's
Rosy.
actually, I want to bring that up. I want to ask because obviously we had so much history and we had so many, like, we didn't have kids, so there's no reason for us to stay in contact. But
You
I
had a-
looked
you
at it
had a
as
fur
like,
child.
we could have totally still be
yeah.
friends. We did. We
You shared an animal.
and that was
Yeah.
what was keeping us connected. But I don't think she liked that. And rightfully so. If I were in her shoes, I'd be like, why are you talking to your ex? But also at the same time, in my shoes, I'm like, dang, like I have history with this person. I've been friends with him 10 years and it felt like a second separation. The first time it was obviously
Yeah.
sad. We agreed that we didn't want to be together anymore. Which was devastating, a lot of tears, a lot of sadness, but we knew it was right. But then it was shortly, he met her, he knew her before, but shortly after they started dating, he was like, hey, we can't.
To
Like-
each,
but like,
to
I just-
each their own. Nils is divorced. He still has contact
That's
with his
how I feel.
ex-wife, and I don't give a freaking
Thank you.
hoot. And also, she
Like, can't relate.
Well, no, Dylan's friends with girls that he's hooked up with.
And like Nils is like one of those people where he like obviously there's a couple of crazy eggs in there, but there are a lot of girls that like he maintained relationships with, way more than I have maintained relationships with any of my exes. So it's like I just already kind of knew that about him. Also,
Yeah.
they were married, so in my head I was very young when I met Nils. So I kind of viewed it as like. It would be so sad to me to be married to someone, give someone that much of your life, and then you never speak again. Like, to me, that's crazier.
sad.
It's crazier. I actually can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
It would make me sad if she wanted to talk to him and he didn't want to talk to her because, like, at one point in your life, that person was everything to you. And also, if your partner has no issues with them, then why would you as the new person have an issue, If unless he was saying some stuff. If he was like, well, you know, she's doing this, and then it would be so different. If Nils was coming to me and being like, she's still trying to talk to me, I would be like, don't talk to her. But if he's like, well, she's a really great girl and I want to talk to her, I'd be like, great, have at it.
I think it's just situational because I think if, for example, like the example I was using, like let me not use that example because that's a little true to form, but like say the ex was acting inappropriate
Right.
or crazy, it's like, then I would, as the
Totally.
new person, be like, okay, like, can you cut that off? Because
Nick took accountability for that. He said that there was things that like maybe he was texting at the time. I didn't know the timeline of their relationship. And like obviously when you're separating, you miss somebody, you're sending like
I see
some
what you're saying.
messages and he was like,
Totally.
hey, I have to take accountability for this. There was things that maybe she saw that she didn't feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I was still like relying on him like emotionally, like when we had separated, like for example, like something happened in my car, I reached
Right.
out to him and he was there. 'Cause
Yeah.
like that's just the kind of man he was. And so he was like, hey, I need to take accountability for this.
Like
and,
maybe he was part of the
you
reason
know,
why
I
she-
made her uncomfortable.
I see.
So I need to block you on all social media platforms.
I got
And
blocked too.
I know you got blocked. Sinead, did you get blocked?
I did get blocked. I got
Dang.
blocked.
blocked all of us.
But anyway, it feels good to talk about it because at the time, obviously, I didn't want to share that on Clever. There was like little hints that people picked up on.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite part was Drew and I were in this episode and we were
The chair.
the chair.
I almost put it in the trailer for our little sizzle, but then
Yeah.
it just didn't make the cut.
You were like, what is this? It looks like it should be in a divorce office or something like
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
And we just lost
No,
it.
you said
she
this
said,
looks, this is the like it was like a really like very
Court.
specific looking chair, very
Yeah.
judicial.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like Drew's like, yeah, this looks like it should be in, I don't know, like a divorce court or something. And then Jackie just like very like immediately, it was so quick. She goes, well, let me just take a seat.
Yeah.
And that was the first
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That was the first time
Yeah.
you had said it publicly, even in front of the people we worked with. Which
Yes.
which
Yes.
is why it really, truly, it was as funny because like people had known someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone we worked with came up to me and asked me, are Jackie and together, because I noticed she's not wearing her ring. And at that time, I hadn't even noticed you weren't wearing your ring.
Detectives.
But I just knew. I knew because you had told me. And I was like, oh, she's not? And then they were like, no. And I was like, oh, well, maybe you should talk to her about it. Because like I didn't want to be the one to like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then, so it was like kind of like that for a little bit. People were kind of like speculating. I knew people were curious. But then you said it, and it was the first time I feel like everyone in the room was like, oh my gosh, she's finally talking about it.
Yeah.
It's wow. It's actually bringing me back to those like emotions of that day, which is so
Yes.
crazy. But I don't know. It was really hard for me. I wasn't ready to tell. You guys knew, obviously.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready to tell people that I worked with. So yeah, wow. Wow, it's weird recapping
Therapy.
it all.
I mean, even the day, I remember even the day you told me, the way you told me, and this is like from the bottom of my heart, this is not to be rude. You told me in a kind of a frantic way, and I remember thinking there's so much more feelings that you hadn't even began to
Whoa.
process yet, because the way it came out was kind of like a little all over the place, and you sounded very like matter of fact about like you had accepted that this was the conversation that was had and this was happening, and I remember being like, ooh, this is gonna hit in a different way in like a few days, and then it'll probably hit a different way like 2 weeks later. But I will say kudos to both of you, because you guys are so mature, honestly, in the way that most of it was handled.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people can say the same thing,
Yeah.
especially about divorce. Because I have heard horror
Oh yeah,
stories.
Yes.
My parents, that was messy. It went on for years. They had to go to court. I had to go
Years.
into court with. It was like a whole.
And then, especially if you
Child
have
support,
kids, did they
but-
ask you like who you want to live with and stuff?
Oh, we had to go in
See, I
and
can't
like
imagine.
and it's so messy with kids. 'Cause
Yeah.
you have to sit down, like you put the kids through that, and then they literally make you go through this questionnaire of like, oh, if you're sick, which parent would you trust more? Or if you, it's a
Jeez.
whole
It's traumatizing.
mess. I was young.
Yeah.
I wasn't traumatized, but like if you were older, then I'm sure I was fine.
Yeah, but I think in your case, you've said it before, like you don't even know how your parents were together.
Yeah,
like
they should have never been
right.
together.
So like that's great.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. At least that you can see, because there are tons of kids I'm sure that are just like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, like, oh, we want mommy and daddy to get back together. Yeah, no. Shout out to Joyce and Steve.
Yeah. No, I read something recently where these kids like in their 30s, like their parents got divorced, and it was so much more traumatizing for them as like grown adults, because they were like, now you're gonna choose now? Like
Yeah.
what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, divorce is crazy, so messy. I can't imagine. So I
Yeah.
think you've really handled it in the
Yeah.
most amazing way.
Yeah, I was proud of both of us. Like the conversation of making the decision and how we transitioned out of our marriage. We're almost there. We're almost
give
at
you
the
4
finish
more
line.
years,
Yeah,
maybe.
I was gonna say, I'll believe it when I see it.
We're almost there, but I really love the journey that I've been on. It's been really great, leaving the marriage, thriving, and like dating and having fun. And now I'm at a place where it's like, well, I'm at a place where I'm like really comfortable being by myself. I have to look like
I'm just looking straight ahead, like wondering what you're gonna say.
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
I know. I'm stopping before like even saying it, but no, I feel really good. I'm like at a place right now where I'm just enjoying my time to myself. Drew is like has really helped me see sometimes. Well, it's not. It's,
I was like, what are you about to say?
no, that like there was a moment where like I felt like I needed to be like entertained by men, and that like I like
yeah.
going on dates. I like meeting
You were
people.
wilding out there for a little bit right
Well,
afterwards.
let's just be clear, not wilding out. Like I'm not like that girl. I'm not over here
No,
like
no.
you know.
When I say like in the sense when I say wild and out, and I'm talking about Jackie, I don't think like crazy wild. My level of what wild is very different, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
I'm uncomfortable.
but it was you were getting out there, which I thought was really healthy and normal, because
Yeah.
like you said, you were with this man for 10 years of your life.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The way I looked at it is like you got married at 25,
It's crazy,
which is
yeah.
like in LA years, like you were basically like child bride, you know?
Yeah, you
So-
were like 11 in LA.
yeah,
in LA
so
years.
it's like I'm
Yeah.
sure after being with the same person for all that time, you were like, Like,
Yeah.
And you needed to like rediscover who you were without this person. Because
Yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
obviously that is a different person.
Yeah.
That's why you
Totally.
guys didn't end up together in the end, because you had become completely different people than who you were when you met him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it was extremely healthy. And I remember like talking to my mom, and my mom was like, she should be dating multiple people. Because my mom has always been like, even when I was younger and single and started dating, she would always tell me, don't settle down so fast, don't settle down so fast. You should be dating multiple people, because
Yeah.
that's how you learn the most about who you are and what you want
Very
and
true.
expect. So
I
I
agree.
actually think it was important for you to get back out there. And I don't think I could have like had that same level of confidence, honestly. And I was just like amazed that you were like, screw it, it's me. I'm ready to get out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. I'm very
Thanks.
proud of you, honestly.
Thanks.
Thank you guys so much for watching or listening to another episode of Are We There Yet?
Are we there yet?
Oh, it's so
Or-
weird. I've never heard you like say it out loud.
Or are we there yet? Or RWTY or RWTY?
RWTY.
Yeah.
RWT. What are the letters?
RWTY.
RWTY.
Are we there yet?
Sounds like
It's
now you're
smooth
listening
jazz.
to RWTY.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning
And then it's
in.
like, dun-dun-dun-dun, like, it's like that weird like 80s music behind it.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Make sure that you subscribe, head down to the comments, drop anything you want us to talk about on the show. We'll just be picking random things,
Yeah.
have different ways to like really get you guys involved for sure. If you're listening, be sure to rate and review the show. You can follow us wherever you get your podcasts, hopefully, but for sure, you can definitely listen to us on our own podcast page or on Spotify.
And
Nice.
follow us on our socials at RWTY podcast, because sometimes we put little questionnaires on the stories.
Yes.
And when I say sometimes, it's our second episode, so we did it once.
We
but
did it one
We'll
time.
do it again.
Also, leave us a message if you want to submit, a story, or you want to spill something, or you want advice. Leave it in a DM. We also have our email linked below too. So if you want to send it via email, if you want it to be a little bit more private, you could do that as well.
Or just slide in our DMs.
Yeah, but not like my Explore page type of way. Just
Yeah.
want to be clear.
Yeah. Just because Drew shared that was not an invitation.
Yeah, please don't.
Please don't send that. Unless you got nice
Woo.
boobies.
Yes, if it's boobies, then
If
that's
it's
fine.
boobies,
That's
you can
fine.
send
But
it
you
to
do
her.
seem like you're on the verge of being a little bit alarmed by it at this point.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that's happening there.
Yeah, so let's not further traumatize her, please. All right, you guys. Well,
Love
we will
you.
see you next week.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.